Hi, my name is Austin Zoot, and welcome to the Zoot Perspective Web Congregation. This week we're picking up the book of Numbers, and in the book of Numbers we're getting right into the thick of it, and we're getting to that portion of the Torah where there are a lot of seemingly random laws all thrown together all at the same time, mixed with a little bit of narrative, mixed with some more laws, mixed with some more narrative. It's kind of challenging, and the portions are getting a little longer. So we're getting long lists of laws, and then a small chunk of story back and forth throughout. So that gives us some areas where it's very easy to find meaning, and some areas where it may be a little more challenging. One of the things that really piqued my interest this week was there are these two little chunks of story, one that is its own little narrative and the other that is a story found within some laws. God is giving all of these laws about cleanliness and about offering the appropriate sacrifice specifically for Passover. And God gives this very detailed explanation of how everything is supposed to be done, and including what happens when someone is unclean and shouldn't participate in the offering of a specific sacrifice. At the end of this long explanation, there's a group of people who may have found a loophole or may have found a question, and they go to Moses and they say, Moses, what about in this circumstance? What happens when, in this case it is, we're unclean because of the presence of a corpse in the family, seemingly by accident? Again, it's a small little piece of what the real issue is, the greater explanation, but it wasn't fully explained. And Moses said, interesting question, good question, let's go ask God. And Moses goes and asks God the question that the people had brought, and God gives a very detailed explanation about these are the reasons why, this is how it should be proceeded as such. Great. End of story, and we move on, and God said to Moses. We go a little further into the story, and we get to a portion where the people are fed up with the manna that God is delivering from heaven as the source of food, and the people begin to complain. They whine to Moses, saying, "It would have been better in Egypt. At least there we had meat. We have no meat to eat. We want meat to eat." Which doesn't sound like vegetarianism to me, and maybe vegetarians would have been better suited for this journey, but the people are frustrated, and they're whining, and they're complaining, and they're crying out to God, moaning about the experience. And Moses brings that complaint to God, and God is very angry and very frustrated, and in one of my favorite portions, or favorite quirks about the Torah, God makes it rain quail for so long that the line is that it will be coming out of the people, that they will consume so much quail it will make them sick, and they will be buried by the quail. I don't know why death by quail was the reasoning that God chose to punish the people. Quail is an odd choice, but there it is. So much quail that the people would literally suffocate on it. And that was the punishment for this whining and complaining, this commenting that it would have been better in Egypt. It's interesting that these two things come in the same Torah portion, because it gives us a good indication of the need to struggle with God in appropriate ways. It's not wrong to question God. We're told over and over in Judaism. Judaism is all about questioning God, asking thoughtful, meaningful, well-prepared questions. And asking is absolutely acceptable. It is 100% okay to ask for clarifications, to wonder why, and to look for meaning. It is not okay to whine, it is not okay to complain, and it is not okay to say, this isn't good enough for me. That's where we see God's response in two very different directions. I often refer to God as this character in the Torah, which some people may or may not be comfortable with, but God demonstrates so many emotions throughout the Torah, and God takes on so many personalities. And this is one of those times where we see the people interacting with God in different ways and getting very, very different results. And we, as communities, can learn that when we ask questions, when we look for answers rather than look for complaints and look for places to be upset and look for that anxiety, when we ask good questions, we get good answers back. And that's how we need to attack all of these Torah portions. That's how we need to look and really understand things, is by asking good questions rather than finding that upset inside of ourselves. That's how I choose to handle the Torah. I hope you are on that journey with me. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave questions and comments below in the comments section. Also, if you're enjoying the work of the Zoot Perspective and the multiple different branches, whether it's my social media account, AustinZoot12 on Twitter and Instagram, or if you're enjoying the YouTube channel and the blog, please feel free to donate to my GoFundMe page. I am trying to make a career out of Jewish teaching and Jewish learning, so anything you can do to help me make that journey a reality would be very much appreciated, and makes my journey all the sweeter and all the more interconnected with the communities I serve. Thank you so much, and Shabbat Shalom.